Top 10 male actors with iconic voices.
Bond. James Bond.
Prepare to be mesmerized by the magic of Hollywood's most enchanting voices. Top 10 male actors with iconic voices is not just a list, it's a tribute to the vocal legends who've shaped our cinematic dreams.
When you leave this building, you will be endowed with all my powers.
From chilling baritones to soothing whispers, these voices have the power to shock, move, and thrill. Get ready to discover which actors have the most spellbinding voices in the industry. This is a journey you won't want to miss. 10. Al Pacino. Al Pacino's vocal style is as renowned as his acting, recognized for its potent and frequently boisterous nature that has changed noticeably during his esteemed career.
No mistakes in the tango, Donna. Not like life.
At the beginning of his career in movies like The Godfather, his voice was more understated, but it has grown louder and more likely to raise in volume.
This one time I'll let you ask me about my affairs.
A change some link to his roles in films such as Scarface and Scent of a Woman. Pacino once humorously remarked, "I don't know how to act, but I can yell," which encapsulates the core of his more recent approach to acting. His voice acting is flexible, capable of delivering both stirring speeches and intimidating soliloquies. In Any Given Sunday, he is well known for his line,
"On this team, we fight for that itch,"
where he uses a compelling hushed tone to captivate the audience before bursting into a fervent outcry. This capacity to transition smoothly from a soft murmur to a full-throated shout adds a distinctive layer to his acting. His softer scenes can be as influential as his explosive tirades. Pacino's vocal performance is characterized by a striking intensity, ensuring that every utterance carries significant emotional heft. Whether he is articulating a bone-chilling menace or a rousing appeal to arms, his voice demands notice. 9. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold Schwarzenegger's vocal signature is as legendary as his cinematic exploits, defined by his unmistakable Austrian inflection that has turned into a hallmark of his identity.
The gentlemen are free to go, but Miss LaRoche...
His resonant, profound voice is an ideal match for his parts as a dynamic hero, enabling him to articulate indelible phrases with a power that holds viewers spellbound.
Welcome to Summerton.
Schwarzenegger once commented, "When I did Terminator," Jim Cameron said, "what made Terminator work and why it became successful is because Schwarzenegger talks like a machine." This distinctive vocal trait not only amplifies his acting, but also lends a lasting effect to even the most ordinary exchanges. His accent frequently introduces an unforeseen comedic twist to intense scenarios, converting potentially plain statements into amusing instances. A prime example is in Kindergarten Cop, where his declaration of "it's not a tumor" has turned into a treasured catchphrase, demonstrating how his accent can bring humor into serious settings.
It's not a tumor. It's not a tumor at all.
Schwarzenegger himself is aware of this, saying, "I think that it is a lot of times the way I say it that makes his lines stand out." Furthermore, his voice is intrinsically linked to the emblematic figures he embodies. Phrases like "I'll be back" and "Hasta la vista, baby" have gone beyond their initial context to become societal benchmarks, frequently cited and alluded to across different media platforms.
Hasta la vista, baby.
As he contemplates his career, Schwarzenegger notes, "You never know when you look at a script that this line will be repeated very often." In the end, his extraordinary voice not only shapes his characters but also imprints a permanent legacy on the annals of film. Can you imagine Arnold Schwarzenegger without his iconic accent? Share your thoughts and comment yes if you think it's essential to his image, or no if you think he'd still be iconic without it. Let's discuss. 8. Jeremy Irons. Jeremy Irons is known for having one of the most distinctive voices in modern film, epitomizing the archetypal English gentleman. His voice, marked by a polished pitch, mirrors his roots as a Shakespearean actor with classical training.
"That sneaky, dirty little son of a bitch! I'll kill him! I swear on my mother's soul!"
Irons has stated, "I think the voice is the most important thing an actor has," underscoring the importance he attributes to vocal performance. His vocal attributes let him move seamlessly from calming to threatening, a range that has made him a popular choice for both virtuous and nefarious roles. In The Lion King, where he provided the voice for the deceitful Scar, his voice radiated a bone-chilling threat, drawing in viewers with its profoundness and force.
Perhaps you shouldn't turn your back on me.
On the other hand, his depiction of roles in more complex stories, such as in The French Lieutenant's Woman, displays a softer, more nuanced side of his vocal talent.
You're trespassing! Did you hear what I said? Get out!
His voice by itself conjures images of nobility and sophistication, making him an ideal candidate for parts that demand a sense of elegance and solemnity. Iron's skill in expressing intricate emotions vocally enhances the realism of his characters, letting him take on roles that vary from the malevolent to the deeply honorable. As he once shared, "I enjoy the challenge of playing characters who are not just one thing." This versatility in his vocal expression not only deepens his performances,
You've been doing that every day for almost 40 years, Sam.
but also solidifies his reputation as a virtuoso in his field, rendering Jeremy Irons' voice a lasting emblem of elegance and intricacy in the realm of acting. 7. Alan Rickman. Alan Rickman's voice was a distinctive element of his celebrated career, marked by a profound, echoing British baritone that enthralled audiences globally.
Indeed. Your evidence?
His singular vocal attribute permitted him to shine in an array of roles spanning from the endearingly nefarious Hans Gruber in Die Hard
MBA, Harvard, 1970.
to the cherished Severus Snape in the Harry Potter series.
Who fails to come forward.
Rickman was capable of embodying both antagonists and humorous figures, showcasing an extraordinary adaptability that is rare among actors. A virtuoso in employing dry humor and ironic conveyance, Rickman's voice could transform even the most ordinary phrases into something exceptional. As he humorously stated, "I do take my work seriously, and the way to do that is not to take yourself too seriously." This outlook infused his performances, enabling his characters to convey sincerity and profundity. His voice contributed an impression of command and acumen, rendering his enactments unforgettable and influential. Rickman's knack for imbuing his dialogue with engaging allure is perhaps most evident in his comedic parts, where his delivery frequently converted straightforward conversation into a wellspring of wit. His portrayal of Alexander Dane in Galaxy Quest exemplified this skill as he lamented, "I was a serious actor," a line that captured his self-conscious humor.
By Grabthar's hammer.
In sum, Alan Rickman's voice persists as a treasured inheritance, a smooth, bewitching tone that persists in the memories of devotees. As recognized by Time magazine, Rickman's voice is the kind you'll be able to conjure in your mind 20, 30, or 40 years from now. Love this video? Show some love with a like and a subscribe. Hate it? A like would still be awesome, and your feedback in the comments will help me improve. 6. Vincent Price. Vincent Price's vocal tone is frequently characterized as somber and unnerving, ideally fitting for the genres of horror and suspense. His one-of-a-kind vocal expression had the power to turn any storyline into a creepy encounter, mesmerizing viewers with its peculiar tone and reverberation.
I'm going to give the people what they want. Sensation, horror, shock.
Price himself once admitted, "I have a great love for the macabre," a sentiment mirrored in the disturbing nature of his voice that appeared to resonate with the very core of terror. A prime illustration of his vocal skill is his legendary input to Michael Jackson's Thriller. Price's narrative part imparted a disquieting dimension to the track, cementing its standing as a hallmark in both the music and horror domains. His proficiency in inciting a feeling of apprehension was unrivaled, causing listeners to feel as if they were immersed in a bone-chilling story.
The foulest stench is in the air, the funk of 40,000 years.
Moreover, Price's rendition of Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven is renowned, demonstrating his mesmerizing capability to captivate audiences.
Well, upon my soul.
His voice had a rhythmic tempo that not only communicated the poem's somber motifs but also rendered it an unforgettable auditory experience. The Raven became a proof of how his vocal aptitude could elevate written works, transforming a plain recitation into a dramatic enactment. 5. Clint Eastwood. Clint Eastwood's raspy, seasoned voice has evolved into a signature aspect of his identity throughout the years. His vocal tone conveys a resilient, straightforward character that aligns seamlessly with the robust figures he frequently embodies on screen.
I'm gonna have to make some dummy heads, make them out of plaster, or cardboard, or whatever.
As Eastwood has matured, his voice has grown increasingly hoarse, enhancing his rugged image. In a conversation, Eastwood once mentioned, "I guess my voice has gotten a little rougher over the years. It's just part of who I am at this point." Eastwood's vocal delivery is typically succinct and direct, imparting an impression of dominance and control. Regardless of whether he's depicting a law enforcement officer, a gunslinger, or a military veteran, his voice infuses a layer of credibility to his characters.
Alive or dead, it's your choice.
Film critic Roger Ebert observed, "Eastwood's voice is like a gravel road, rough, but it gets you there." This concise delivery can bring a room to silence, as Eastwood's profound, echoing voice draws focus. In a moment from the movie Dirty Harry, Eastwood's role, Harry Callahan articulates a renowned soliloquy in his characteristic manner.
How does murder fit in? You know, when police start becoming their own executioners.
With his hoarse voice and pointed articulation, he utters, "I know what you're thinking. Did he fire 6 shots or only 5? Well, to tell you the truth, in all this excitement, I kind of lost track myself." This instance highlights Eastwood's capacity to utilize his voice to craft an indelible character and articulate a notable line. 4. Sean Connery. Sean Connery's vocal signature is undoubtedly one of the most recognizable and iconic in film history. The smooth, alluring Scottish accent that has become a hallmark of his iconic portrayal of James Bond imparts an air of elegance and cosmopolitanism to all his characters.
I mean, besides chemin de fer.
Golf?
"My voice is my trademark," Connery once remarked, and it's clear why. His profound, echoing tone is both enticing and authoritative, captivating audiences with every utterance. "The name's Bond, James Bond," he pronounced in Dr. No, and the world became enamored with his delivery of that line.
Bond. James Bond.
Even when speaking in different languages, Connery's unique accent remains prominent. In The Hunt for Red October, he embodied a Russian submarine captain, yet his Scottish brogue was unmistakable. "I am not a Scotsman," he declared in the film. "I am a Russian."
New Paruski.
It's a testament to the strength of his voice that it surpasses language and nationality. Connery's voice has become so iconic that it's challenging to envision anyone else embodying Bond. "He brought an intriguing element to the role," said director Terence Young. "He had a certain allure and sophistication, yet also a certain ruggedness. That ruggedness is apparent in the manner Connery articulates his lines, with a coarse edge that contrasts the character's polished facade. Ultimately, it's Connery's voice that cements him as one of the finest actors of his era. It's a voice that draws attention, enchants the listener, and imprints a lasting impression on the mind. "He was the best Bond ever," said Roger Moore, "because he brought an element of peril to the role, and that peril is perpetually present in Connery's voice, a reminder of the influence of this legendary actor." 3. Christopher Walken. Christopher Walken's vocal signature is immediately identifiable, distinguished by a somewhat erratic mode of expression that differentiates him from other performers.
It was first purchased by your great-grandfather during the First World War.
His singular cadence and tempo render his dialogue unforgettable, as he frequently introduces unexpected pauses or accents words in a non-traditional manner. As Walken himself once articulated, "I have a very distinct voice. It's a little bit like a Geiger counter. It clicks along, and then it gets to the good part and goes, wah!" This unique style is further accentuated by Walken's Queens, New York inflection, which imparts a hint of coarseness and credibility to his portrayals.
Eternity, here, in that sagging skin suit.
Walken's voice can embody both humor and unease, often within the same sequence. He is capable of delivering a comedic one-liner with impeccable timing, yet can also provoke a shiver with a solitary line. As he once remarked, "I have a face that lends itself to sardonic and ironic roles." His articulation invests even straightforward lines with an air of enigma and profundity. As he once noted, "I like to say things in a way that makes people think."
Well, you know, it's live. It's like a football game. You know, you get ready and then you don't know it.
Walken's iconic vocal presence has established him as an adored personality in mainstream culture, with enthusiasts frequently mimicking his characteristic delivery. As he once stated, "I'm very flattered when people imitate me. It's a kind of tribute." Whether he's embodying a mobster, a dance educator, or an eccentric character, Walken's voice invariably takes center stage, etching an enduring impression on every scene he features in. 2. James Earl Jones. James Earl Jones is known for having one of the most memorable voices in film history, marked by a profound, resonant baritone that draws the listener in. His vocal delivery is not only potent and commanding, but also adaptable for roles of both the heroic and the nefarious.
Bobby and I didn't see you at the presentation of Simba.
As he once insightfully remarked, "If you take a villain like Thulsa Doom or Darth Vader and have fun with it, that destroys the credibility of the character." This comment underscores his appreciation for the solemnity his voice lends to characters, enhancing the impact and gravitas of any performance he is part of. In an impressive display of resilience, Jones overcame a notable childhood speech impediment, a hurdle that almost kept him from speaking for an extended period. He has shared, "One of the hardest things in life is having words in your heart that you can't utter." This personal challenge influenced his path, as he found solace in reading poetry, a pursuit that allowed him to articulate his thoughts without stuttering, and this eventually led to his distinguished career in acting. His voice extends beyond mere sound. It has become a cultural symbol that resonates with audiences of all ages. Whether he is the voice behind Darth Vader in the Star Wars saga or Mufasa in The Lion King,
Don't know the power of the dark side.
Jones's vocal identity is widely recognized. He has humorously stated, "My voice is for hire," highlighting the adaptability and high demand for his one-of-a-kind vocal abilities. With a career that has spanned more than 6 decades, James Earl Jones has turned his early struggles into an exceptional asset, emerging as a cherished icon whose voice continues to motivate and enthrall audiences across the globe. 1. Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman is celebrated for his distinctive voice, which has become closely associated with narration, documentaries, and voiceovers. His voice, characterized by its depth, richness, and resonance, is ideally suited to impart a feeling of tranquility, insight, and command.
Sloth, wrath, pride, lust, and envy.
Freeman's vocal tone carries a comforting, paternal essence that renders him approachable and reliable, enabling him to lead audiences through intricate subjects effortlessly. As he once observed, "You are the sum total of everything you've ever seen, heard, eaten, smelled, been told, forgot. It's all there. Everything influences each of us." Freeman's vocal expression is simultaneously soothing and solemn, enabling him to address a diverse array of subjects with equal proficiency. Whether he is detailing the thrilling existence of penguins in March of the Penguins, or delving into the enigmas of the cosmos in The Story of God with Morgan Freeman, his voice enchants audiences and simplifies even the most intricate information. As he once asserted, "Literacy could be the ladder out of poverty," highlighting his conviction in the value of education and comprehension. Freeman's legendary voice has become so intrinsic to mainstream culture that he has even contributed his voice to the character of God in the movies Bruce Almighty and Evan Almighty. His voice possesses the capacity to transport audiences to different realms and uplift them with stories of human triumph. As he once articulated, "If you want to see a miracle, be a miracle," summarizing the invigorating impact of his language and the sagacity that saturates his every statement. We've journeyed through the vocal charisma of cinema's top male actors, each lending their unique tonal signatures to unforgettable characters. But which voice captivates you the most? Share your picks in the comments. It's time to celebrate the art of the voice. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell for more iconic content from Iconic Inside. Let's keep the conversation going. Top 10 actors who actually did it on screen.
Well, not that.
Yes, you will. You're in love with me.
Screw you.
Get ready to have your cinematic world shattered. Are you sure what you've seen on screen was just acting? Buckle up as we dive into the scandalous stories of top 10 actors who took method acting to the next level and actually did it on camera. Join us on this jaw-dropping journey through film history where the line between reality and fiction blurs like never before. Don't miss a moment. Hit like, subscribe, and let the controversy begin. 10. Khloe Sevin and Vincent Gallo in The Brown Bunny. In the 2003 film The Brown Bunny, Khloe Sevin engaged in a scene of unsimulated fellatio with Vincent Gallo, which sparked considerable debate. The film's release led to a polarized response from critics, with some fearing that this graphic scene would permanently harm Sevin's growing career.
Long knife that's been stuck in my gut that people just like to keep turning and turning, and it's been very hard.
However, Sevin later discussed the experience, saying, "I think it was a way of kind of reclaiming myself, wanting to push the envelope." She managed to continue her career successfully even after the controversy, securing roles in productions such as Big Love and Zodiac. The film, which centers on a motorcycle racer grappling with his past, featured the scene as a key element. Sevin referred to the film as an artistic creation, stating, "When you see the film, it makes more sense. It's an art film. It should be playing in museums." Gallo, who both directed and acted in the film, humorously got ready for the scene by drinking pineapple juice, suggesting it makes everything taste better. Despite the initial negative reactions, the film and Sevin's performance received praise from well-known critic Roger Ebert, who lauded the film's unique approach and the way editing gave it a deeper meaning than what was initially perceived. Ebert recognized the film's examination of solitude and emotional longing, emphasizing its artistic value despite the controversy over its explicit scenes. 9. Anna Paquin and Stephen Moyer in True Blood. Anna Paquin and Stephen Moyer, who portrayed Sookie Stackhouse and Bill Compton respectively in the popular HBO series True Blood, were not only on-screen partners but also a couple in real life during the show's run from 2008 to 2014. The series was characterized by numerous sexually charged scenes, with Paquin's character frequently involved in sensual interactions with a variety of supernatural entities. In the final season of the show, a particularly intense love scene involving Sookie and the werewolf Alcide Herveau, portrayed by Joe Manganiello, caught the audience's attention.
Give a fuck.
Come on, you'll do anything for me.
Yeah, well, not that.
Yes, you will. You're in love.
This led to rumors circulating that the on-screen intimacy between Paquin and Manganiello was not just acting, with whispers suggesting that Paquin and Moyer, who tied the knot in 2010, may have had actual sexual relations while the cameras were rolling. Paquin later responded to these rumors, indicating that the bar for awkward is set terribly high in our household when it came to performing intimate scenes, particularly when Moyer was at the helm as director. However, neither Paquin nor Moyer provided a definitive confirmation or denial regarding the specific rumors about the scene in question. Stephen Moyer, who took on the role of director for several episodes of True Blood, including the one that showcased the Sookie and Alcide scene, remembered giving his co-stars the freedom to fully commit to their performances.
The beautiful man behind the camera is, and I'm not even slightly kidding, my favorite person to work with.
Urging them to go for it to ensure the scenes appeared authentic. He lightheartedly commented on the casual conversations he had with his wife about their on-screen intimate scenes, humorously asking, "Hi honey, who are you making love to on camera today?" Did they or didn't they? Rate your belief in the rumors on a scale of 0, 5, with 0 being highly unlikely and 5 being almost certain. Share your thoughts and comment below. 8. Sienna Miller and Hayden Christensen in Factory Girl. In the movie Factory Girl, Sienna Miller and Hayden Christensen's portrayals stirred considerable debate, especially concerning the film's intimate moments. The movie, known for its candid depiction of sexual encounters, became a subject of speculation, with rumors circulating that Miller and Christensen engaged in actual intercourse during filming.
It's, you know, you feel, well, you're just so tired after kind of, especially the more emotional scenes are really draining.
Miller, however, categorically refuted these allegations, crediting the scene's convincing nature to their adept acting abilities. She clarified, "We didn't actually have sex, it was just acting," underscoring that the convincing portrayal was a result of their acting skills, not any genuine intimacy. The film, which tells the story of Edie Sedgwick, an inspiration to Andy Warhol, included a notably explicit scene between Miller and Christensen that fueled widespread rumors. Some reports suggested that these rumors were deliberately spread to create interest in the movie, which encountered obstacles during its production and release. A source indicated, "This particular story was leaked by people in Hayden's camp who are trying to counter those rampant gay rumors," hinting that the narrative was more about controlling public perception than reflecting the truth. 7. Kieran O'Brien and Margo Stilley in 9 Songs. The 2004 movie 9 Songs became a topic of discussion due to the explicit, unsimulated sex scenes between Kieran O'Brien and Margo Stilley, marking a notable event in the history of cinema. Directed by Michael Winterbottom, the film is recognized for its candid depiction of a fervent romance, showcasing intimate acts such as oral sex and ejaculation. Both O'Brien and Stilley confirmed that they engaged in real sexual intercourse during the filming, a disclosure that led to significant controversy and debate in the film industry and with the public. O'Brien passionately defended the film, saying, "Honestly, I don't know what all the fuss is about. It's a film about 2 people in a monogamous relationship having sex, as you'd kind of hope that everyone does." His viewpoint emphasizes the film's aim to depict intimacy in an authentic, rather than a sensational manner. Stilley agreed with this perspective, stating, "It was a film about love and sex. It wasn't porn. I mean, I had sex with my boyfriend last night and that wasn't porn, it was just hot sex." This differentiation was essential in countering critics who considered the film to be nothing more than pornographic content. The graphic content of 9 Songs resulted in considerable disapproval, prompting critics like politician Anne Widdecombe to deem it unsuitable for mainstream movie theaters. O'Brien, nevertheless, stayed untroubled by the criticism, declaring, "If you don't want to be offended, don't watch it." The movie's open portrayal of sexuality was without precedent at the time, pushing the traditional limits and prompting conversations about the depiction of sex in films. Like this video? Great. Subscribe for more. Hate it? Well, a like would be nice anyway, and let me know what went wrong in the comments. 6. The Notorious BIG in the song Ready to Die. The Notorious BIG Tao's first album, Ready to Die, released in 1994, is a foundational work in hip-hop and a daring examination of the artist's own life and character. Among the most daring moments on the record is an interlude that some believe captures the sound of Biggie receiving oral sex. This controversial inclusion challenges the distinction between reality and artistic performance, demonstrating Biggie's readiness to test limits and defy societal expectations. In this interlude, the intimate sounds heard by listeners can be interpreted in multiple ways, as a raw depiction of sexual expression or as a bold commentary on masculinity and vulnerability. Echoing his own words, "I'm ready to die," a theme that runs throughout the album. This segment reflects his intricate relationship with the concepts of life and death. Critics have observed that this boldness fosters an intense connection with the audience, prompting them to ponder the line between authenticity and artistic creation. 5. Robert Pattinson in Little Ashes. In the film Little Ashes, Robert Pattinson's depiction of Salvador Dali is a testament to his dedication to realism and his readiness to challenge the norms of acting. Pattinson, known for his method acting approach, chose an unconventional method for an intimate scene in the movie, where he enacted an orgasm without the use of a partner or any artificial aids. This choice was driven by a pursuit of authenticity in his performance, rather than seeking to provoke a reaction. Pattinson openly discussed the intensity of his commitment to the role, saying, "I once decided to quit acting. It was when I did Little Ashes. I played Salvador Dali and had to do a lot of scenes where I was naked, and I also had to masturbate. I mean, really." His straightforward confession underscores his conviction that simulating such an intimate act would not have captured the true emotions necessary for the scene. With a touch of humor, he commented, "My orgasm face is recorded for eternity," highlighting both the gravity and the absurdity of his situation. This particular scene is a pivotal point in Pattinson's career, demonstrating his readiness to expose his vulnerability and defy traditional cinematic conventions. Reviewers have observed that such daring choices add depth to his characters, enabling viewers to connect with the intricate emotional layers of the story. Pattinson's strategy in Little Ashes underscores his artistic outlook. "I think Dali and I may have one thing in common for our art: no limits." For Shia LaBeouf and Stacey Martin in Nymphomaniac. In the controversial film Nymphomaniac, directed by Lars von Trier, Shia LaBeouf and Stacey Martin garnered attention not only for the film's graphic sexual content, but also for their choice to engage in actual intercourse on camera. Initially, the production had intended to use CGI and body doubles to recreate the film's explicit scenes. Producer Louise Vest detailed the initial plan, which involved the actors simulating sex while filming, with the intention of overlaying the bodies of adult film actors using digital effects during post-production. This approach was designed to preserve artistic integrity while still providing the film's provocative impact.
You just want to do it in the end. You're just like, okay, yes, I know the film's called Nymphomaniac.
However, LaBeouf and Martin chose a more genuine method, deciding to perform the scenes themselves. LaBeouf, who had reportedly sent a personal sex tape to von Trier to secure his role, stated, "The movie is what you think it is. It is Lars von Trier making a movie about what he's making." His dedication to authenticity is reflective of a broader trend in von Trier's films, where the line between reality and fiction often becomes indistinct. Stacey Martin has been relatively reserved in discussing her experience with the film's intimate scenes. In interviews, she has mentioned the technical difficulties of capturing such close moments, describing the process as a bit boring due to the extensive planning and use of prosthetics involved. Martin stressed that, although the scenes appear realistic, they were carefully orchestrated and involved substantial preparation to ensure the comfort and safety of the actors on set. 3. Christine DeBelle and Alan Novak in Alice in Wonderland. The 1976 film Alice in Wonderland, an X-rated musical fantasy directed by Bud Townsend, featured Christine DeBelle and Alan Novak in scenes of explicit sexual activity that were unheard of for mainstream cinema at that time. This movie is particularly famous for its real, unsimulated sex scenes, a daring decision that distinguished it from the typical adult films of its period. DeBelle's role included an actual act of oral sex on Novak, which was a startling discovery for many viewers and reviewers. Despite its graphic material, Alice in Wonderland achieved impressive commercial success, earning over $90 million on a budget of around $400,000. Roger Ebert, a well-known film critic, provided a surprisingly favorable review, characterizing the film as a genuine curiosity with wit and style. He mentioned that the film was fairly mild as X-movies go and complimented DeBelle's charm and innocence, stating, "She projects such a freshness and naivete that she charms us even in scenes where some rather alarming things are going on." Ebert's review indicated that the film was not just another X-rated potboiler, but an adult movie with a certain appeal, suggesting that it could almost be rated R due to its playful treatment of sexuality. DeBelle later recalled her experience, disclosing that many of the cast members, including herself, were initially unaware of the film's explicit content. She believed she was auditioning for a family-friendly version of Lewis Carroll's classic story. Upon arriving on set, she was surprised and somewhat hesitant upon realizing the film's true nature. 2. Fiona LaFlanagan and Chris O'Neill in James Joyce's Women. In the 1985 movie James Joyce's Women, Fiona LaFlanagan and Chris O'Neill give compelling performances that delve into the intricacies of love and longing in 19th century Ireland. Adapted from Joyce's writings, the film examines the lives of women who were frequently overlooked in both literature and society. Flanagan embodies the spirit of Joyce's female characters through her portrayal of a fervent, resolute woman,
the Dinkledale of Logolaw, well...
while O'Neill enriches the narrative with a sophisticated portrayal of masculine vulnerability. A particularly contentious element of the film is its dedication to realism, especially in a key scene where Flanagan and O'Neill partake in actual, unsimulated intercourse. This choice aimed to mirror the intense, unbridled emotions found in Joyce's storytelling. Flanagan commented on the importance of this decision, saying, "We wanted to bring a sense of reality to the characters. It was about truth, not just titillation." 1. Halle Berry and Billy Bob Thornton in Monsters Ball. Monsters Ball presents a poignant love narrative between Halle Berry's character, Letitia Musgrove, and Billy Bob Thornton's Hank Grotowski, punctuated by several graphic sex scenes that challenge the norms of mainstream film. The stark, candid essence of these encounters, coupled with the actors' immersive performances, has sparked ongoing speculation that Berry and Thornton may have had actual intercourse during the shooting, as opposed to merely mimicking the acts. In a 2001 conversation with the New York Times, Berry disclosed the terms she set for participating in the Monsters Ball sex scene. "I would only do it if Billy Bob agreed to be as naked as I was." This agreement led to both actors being extremely exposed, with the scene leaving a lasting impression on the audience. Neither Berry nor Thornton have ever publicly confirmed or refuted these rumors, which adds to the film's enigmatic aura. During an interview on Sway's Universe, Thornton addressed the scene, remarking, "She's a great talent and a beautiful woman, and I might have been a little bit nervous beforehand, but once we got into it, it was essentially ad-libbed. I mean, there was some dialogue for that scene in the script, but we kind of just winged it, you know." While the actors' dedication to their roles is clear, the production team insists that the shoot was conducted on a closed set, with no actual sexual activity occurring. The original uncut version of the film, which debuted at the Berlin Film Festival, included more graphic content during the sex scene, but was edited to avoid an NC-17 rating from the MPAA. Hey there, film enthusiasts. We've just wrapped up our dive into the bold world of on-screen authenticity, where some actors take their craft to the extreme. Have you seen any of these films? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on those notifications so you're always in the loop with Iconic Inside. Let's keep the conversation going and grow our community together.